On today's episode, we talk about Star Citizen and crowdfunding. Welcome to the SaveState, a channel about all the things you love in nerd culture. I'm your host, Landon Barton. I'm joined with Seth Duncan and Garrick Enright.
Hello.
And so what is going on here?
I'm going to Oktoberfest, man.
All right.
Yeah, like right after this.
Sweet.
And then in a couple weeks.
Well, you look glorious,
Yeah.
I must say.
Yeah, I mean, like, these don't snap, but I wish they did.
Yeah, that'd be good. Well, anyways, we're here to talk about Star Citizen. I'm gonna be so distracted during this video. That's weird.
Dude, get your eyes off my knees.
I'm sorry.
Dude, I'm up here.
They're so hairy.
Can we put a sensor bar over him?
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe so. All right, we're here.
Oh, you have to do it.
We're here to talk about Star Citizen, and Star Citizen is a crowdfunded game that is basically breaking all records for crowdfunding, for all Kickstarters, for anything that is just crowdfunding in general.
Guinness Book World Record.
Yeah, and
like,
not just
legit.
not just for game crowdfunding, for crowdfunding overall. It's 53, 55 million, somewhere in that range, and it's just insane. And so for the viewers at home, if they don't know what Star Citizen is, it's an extremely ambitious game that is. Do you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, sure. Basically, okay, so it's the guy that developed and wrote Wing Commander, and so it's based on kind of that. It's like the next iteration of that. So it's going to release initially with just a storyline, first person, or.
So they also made a really terrible movie, is my understanding.
No. Freddie Prinze Jr. Man. And
Nothing he's been in has ever been bad.
Right.
I'm just going to go on record.
Wasn't he in Varsity Blues?
I don't know. It's sports.
And then,
I don't
and then
understand.
the movie with, like, it had the cat people.
So
They were bad
anyhow-
Star Citizen.
Man.
So
movie.
Wing Commander background, it's going to be a single player initial campaign, and then they're expanding it to multiplayer. And
Wait,
expanding it
is
to,
Star Citizen a Wing Commander thing, or is it just like
no, it's not Wing
in a similar
Commander, but
vein?
it's the guy that wrote it and developed it, so it's
Okay.
going to have a lot of those. It's
got
going to call back to that a lot.
Space combat.
So the things that make it interesting are, well, first off, the people that are involved are really like well-known developers, and then you've got the fact that you're going to be able to get out of your ship and walk around, which is something that, like Eve's been trying for a while and
Space
hasn't done well.
themed.
Right.
Space. Yeah, I don't know if we said that.
Nope.
Yeah, sorry. So, yes. Anyway, so it's space themed.
All right.
You'll be in spaceships. You can get out of the cockpit, run around the ship. You can hop on turrets and shoot. It's a real ambitious game that's trying to bring in. Eventually, the long game is to bring in multiplayer elements with a really nice, compelling, moving campaign with FPS elements and exploration of planets and all of this stuff. It's supposed to just be like the ultimate space game of all space games, which makes me really excited.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
I don't get excited very often.
I think
That being said, I have reservations.
So what? Okay, with
Yeah.
you saying that you don't get very excited very often. Why is this exciting to you?
For starts, I like expansive places, expansive games. But in that being said, again, I did not like any of the Elder Scrolls games. I did not like Fallout 3. Because expansive games tend to have the pitfall of there's all this space to do but nothing to do.
Right.
Even if they're side quests, it's always the same dumb side quest. But I'm really excited for this because it's different.
Yeah.
It's space. I've never been good at EVE Online, probably because I'm either not smart or I don't have any friends.
it's because you're not a narcissist. That's why.
Oh
The
no,
people
I
that are-
am. I am.
Well, then you'd probably be really good.
Surprised my ego got through the door. Anyhow,
So-
yeah, I'm excited for it because I think it was a Kickstarter video. They said if you're an explorer, you can go around, and if you find a jump point to get you to another system, another sun system, or whatever you want to call it, if you find that jump point first, that jump point gets named after you. Stuff like that. That's awesome.
So when you get to, say if you take your ship and you go down to a planet, what are some of the missions? What are some of the things that you would expect to be able to do once you're down to these planets?
That's a really good question. I think that, I would love to see exploration because, as a counterpoint to our friend here, I love the big expansive spaces because it's, to me, fast travel ruins games. And that's actually something this week they're taking out of EVE some
nice.
fast travel mechanics. They're actually patching it so it won't have that. But I played Mortal Online for a while, which is super fun. But it's also like hard mode. Like there's no map, there's no
Is that-
world map.
Is
there's
that
no-
officially finished, that game? Or
I
is
think
it
it's still in beta. It's open beta, or not open, but it's.
So do we have like internet cartographers?
Yeah, no, there are. Well, and that's the
Nice.
thing is like, okay, if you're in World of Warcraft, you can play from level 0. Well, you can pay from level 0 to 90, but you can play from 0 to 90 and never leave a major city, for the most part. I think you can get anyway. But the thing is like, I like the idea of exploring, but in WoW, there's no reason to explore anymore. If you want to level, you don't have to. And besides, everything's been explored because it's kind of a small world, all things considered. You get into something like Eve, and it actually kind of has the same problem a little bit because it's got thousands of systems you can fly to, but when you're in a system, you can fly to each planet, but there's really no reason to go to any individual planet. There's nothing new to explore there. That's what I want out of this game. Is I want to go to a planet and I want to blow a whole Saturday just running around looking at stuff and picking up, like finding some sort of weird loot that nobody else has or something like that. I want a game that lets me do that. So I hope that, it'd be neat if there were like cities, like if you land and there's a city and there's stuff to do and some missions and people to meet or whatever. But that, and then I also want territory control.
Well, like Star Trek Online, I mean, it's a terrible MMO for me. It had the thing where you can go to different planets and go land and walk around and everything.
Yep.
Didn't do it well. Nothing to do there. You just go talk to a dude, get a mission, leave.
Yeah.
But if they have like headquarters for your corporation, I think it is in Eve,
Yep.
right? That'd be cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm also really excited because there's a lot of group interaction, like user interaction.
Yeah.
If you design a ship, you can submit it to them, and they might make it a legit ship.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's so cool.
Now, do you think, like I said, it's crowdfunded, so there's a lot of tiers of you put this much money towards it, you get this specific type of ship or whatever it is. Do you fear that this is going to become a pay-to-win model? Is that an actual legitimate fear for this company and for this title?
Eventually, out the gate, probably not. I mean, they're going to be the contributors right out of the gate who have decent planes because they spent money to get it already. But right away, no, they're going to be pure.
Because they're saying that the ships that they're giving away for these funders who are paying for it, they're all ships that you can get within the game through actual gameplay, but it's just a lot easier if you just pay the money.
Right.
Sure.
Well, I think it is a fear in the sense that I hope that they don't do it.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
pay-to-play ruins.
I think pay to win, especially just ruins things.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Pay
Yeah,
to win.
no.
Pay to win for sure. Yeah.
I think it just ruins stuff. I would much rather pay them $60, even $80 out the gate if it's the game that I want. I mean, if it's the game that I really want, pay them $100 once, awesome. Or do what I did with Eve. I paid $15 a month per account, and I had 2 accounts live for years.
Well, right now they're saying that it's not going to be a monthly subscription.
Right. I'm just
too,
saying, like, I
so-
would rather them do that than oh, it's free unless you really want to play the game. That's no fun. It segregates your gameplay, your players. You know, you've got the people that are casual and you've got the people that are hardcore, and if you as a casual run across someone who's hardcore, you just don't stand a chance at all.
Well, and it's hard for new players to get into it too, where it's like maybe you put in a bunch of money into it and you've got this really powerful ship or a lot of stuff for your character, and then you're like, hey, I want Ryan to come and play with me, and he's going to start fresh. He's got nothing, and now you're basically almost the same level as him, but you've got all this other incredible stuff.
Right.
So it
But you can
does
put Ryan on
segregate
your
your
big
audience.
ass ship and he can run a turret.
That's true.
And see,
true.
that's the other thing I'm super excited about is the turret control of the ships that they talked about and stuff. It just, my brain ran with it down to the little thing where I could be like, hey, everybody, let's jump in a whatever ship and everyone man a turret and we're just going to go
Everyone get in the
pirate.
Star Destroyer. We're going to go blow up a planet.
Because so far the biggest ship that I think they've announced is a 10-man ship, and it can hold 3-4 other smaller ships within it.
That'd be cool.
So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
No one likes hot.
What's that?
Keep going. Keep going.
So with a game like this that has this incredible amount of funding, like I said, the 55 million, there's a lot of expectation. There's a lot of hope for this game. Can it live up to that? Can it live up to the hype that it's building? They're showing a lot of stuff, and it is very ambitious. What's going to happen there, do you think?
See, this is one of the games where I'm trying to look at it as little as possible so I don't get overhyped. Because every time I get hyped for something, like you guys really try to sell me a Mass Effect 2, which I just finished because I'm slow as hell.
Yeah.
But I just finished it. Not as hyped, not as good as it sounded
2
like.
is so good.
I know.
So good.
I don't like anything.
I know.
But I like you guys.
No, he doesn't. something.
I don't know if that's if you
like
don't
you
like
occasionally.
anything, but you like us. That kind of actually.
I like you guys, and I like my wife.
No, I think they can live up to it. They've got the right people behind it. They've got a massively successful Kickstarter, which means that their fan base right off the bat is really excited about it, and that's huge.
Man, if you got to play it, you build it. I mean, they're doing it backwards. They don't have to build it and they come. They came and then they're going to build it.
Right.
This is the opposite of
Well,
Field
and
of Dreams.
they're working with the players to develop the game, which I think is something that's games that are doing that these days are becoming wildly successful.
Oh, yeah.
You see the games that are developed without the player interaction, and what happens is it gets talked up early because they're promoting the crap out of it, and then when the game launches, everyone just turns into they're just so pissed off about the game. Because everyone has certain expectations that aren't met or whatever. Whereas if you do it this way, then all those things are kind of taken care of early on. So,
Yeah, and I said I had reservations for pretty much the same reason. Like, this game is going to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it could be like Destiny, where there's a lot of people who have said that Destiny is 3 games done kind of well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you have
but it doesn't
3
quite commit to
mediocre games,
Right.
But if they're releasing it in tiers, they can dedicate
They
time.
can spend the time. Yeah.
So I think that'll be better. Now, side question.
Yeah.
What does their number one
How is
competitor,
that?
Eve,
Yeah.
what do they do?
What do they do?
Yeah,
Bow.
what do they do
Kneel.
to combat the fact that this
yeah.
game is going to come out and it's going to steal a lot of their players?
Yeah.
How does their number one competition react to that?
Well, okay, so this is actually really interesting. As a person who's been playing Eve for a decade, one of two things can happen. Either Eve's gonna lose a ton of players and a lot of attention, which I think if Star Citizen launched 3 years ago, Eve would have died. Because right then, Eve was in the middle of this big player uprising where they were really pissed off at the way the development was going, and a bunch of people unsubscribed, and the main guy, the guy that runs CCP, came out and apologized. They ended up cutting back a bunch of projects that they were doing. They canceled some projects and they refocused on Eve, and that brought some attention back into it. Right now, I think what you're seeing is that Eve is heavily populated by trolls. It is known as the troll game.
Yeah.
That's the game you go to if you want to pirate. If you
what's
want to,
that
Sounds
name
like I
of
should
the
play Eve.
sounds like you should.
what's the name of that group that has a large amount of territory and the name is hilarious?
Well, there's Test Alliance. Please ignore.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
They're the big ones, Test Alliance. And then Goon Swarm, which came from Goon Wafa, blah, blah, blah. Went all the way back to Something Awful forums.
Okay.
And it was a bunch of people that literally joined the game to just screw with people.
I
That's
just
the only
love-
reason they joined it.
I just love the fact that one of the largest territories is we're just testing. Just ignore us.
Please ignore. Don't worry about us. We
It's
just
nothing
own half the
important.
systems.
It's fine.
So here's the thing, though: is Star Citizen, depending on how the game's done, this will be interesting to see. Eve lends itself to that kind of you're on your own mindset. Pirates can go out and pirate and do whatever they want, and they control people, and it's fine. And when people complain about it, the developers go, "It's built into the game. They're going to do it." So if Star Citizen does that, you're going to see a massive migration of those people that are going to go over to that to try and troll people, which could be really fun because it does bring interesting content to the game. If you're someone who likes to just PvE all the time, it can be really annoying, really bad. So we'll see how that happens. But I think the Eve thing to directly combat this, they just need to work really hard with their people and develop rapport, because it's going to be a challenge to hold on to it. They tried to split it to the FPS thing with the Dust 514
Right,
on
yeah.
PS3, and that's not gone super well. I've played it and it's a lot of fun, but the integration
Just
hasn't
didn't
gone
work out as well
And,
as they had hoped.
and they have Eve Valkyrie, which is their Oculus Rift game.
Right, which that looks awesome.
It does look really
That
cool.
looks really cool.
And so if they're trying to they have all of these things that Star Citizen's kind of trying to bring all into its one thing, including Oculus Rift support. And I'm like, man, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see. It's a huge game. It's super ambitious.
Yeah.
We don't even know everything about it yet. I mean, they're still just changing things as they get more money, really.
Yeah.
And I didn't mention this earlier, but they're saying that with the 55 million that they've got, it's all going towards development. It's not going towards profits right now, which is perfect because that's what Kickstarter should be about. So we'll see where it goes. Let us know what you think about the game in the comments. Let us know if you're excited about it. Will it live up to the hype? Can it deliver on everything that it's promising? And
I'm going to throw one more question.
Yeah.
Also in the comments, tell us, what have you kickstarted? Specifically games, but what have you kickstarted and why?
Like they set up, or like they
No,
What
no.
they've
What have
contributed
you
to, what they
supported?
funded.
What have you
Ah,
funded?
right.
And why did you fund that project?
So, all right. Well, thanks for watching. Right when I'm about to start, you cough. All
I didn't mean to.
right, all right, all right.
This is happening. There's always an
Giggle
outtake.
fits. Giggle fits.